There was screaming coming from your house last night. That was the first thing the neighbor said when I got back. I hadn't even dropped my suitcase. I blinked, confused. I've been gone for 2 weeks. He nodded, slow. I know. That's why I thought you should know. Only 2 people had keys. My mother, my father. I changed the locks a year ago, gave them new keys. Trust, extended once more, a mistake I wouldn't repeat. I didn't yell, didn't ask questions, I just smiled, thanked him, and made a decision. I grew up in that house, inherited it after the fire took my aunt. They used to say it was cursed, but the real curse wasn't the walls, it was who I let inside them. My parents wore kindness like a costume, took it off when no one was watching. Behind closed doors, love became surveillance. Silence became a weapon. They smiled in front of strangers, but I remember the glass in my hair when I was 12, the belt at 15, the words at 23. You learn to stop crying when no one listens. When I moved out at 26, they said I'd come crawling back. When I didn't, they found other ways in. It started small. Furniture moved, papers missing, lights left on in rooms I never entered. At first, I blamed myself. Sleepwalking maybe. Forgetfulness. Then I found a plate in the sink. A plate I hadn't used. Still damp. Still warm. I lived alone. I checked the locks, the windows. Nothing broken. So I bought cameras. Not the big obvious kind. Tiny, silent eyes in corners, vents, light sockets. I didn't tell anyone. The next time I left town, I hit record. What I saw nearly broke me. Day 2 of my trip, 3:42 p.m. My mother entered with a bag of groceries. My father followed, laughing, comfortable. They looked at home, because they felt at home. They didn't knock, didn't call, didn't ask. She went into my bedroom, opened drawers, read my journals. He opened my laptop, logged in like it was his. I watched him scroll through my emails. He paused on one marked therapist notes. He smiled. Day 4. They brought someone with them, a man, late 50s. Didn't recognize him at first. Then I realized he was a former cop, retired, used to drink with my father. They gave him a tour. I heard my mother say, "She thinks she owns this place." He laughed. "Well, she's not married, no kids. It'll be ours again eventually." Like I was a placeholder in my own life. Day 6. Screaming. From them. Not fear, not pain. Anger, rage. My mother yelling, "She ruined everything." My father yelling back, "Then take it back." They were tearing apart my studio, slamming doors, ripping canvases, throwing old photo albums into trash bags. My memories, my art, my life. And they did it like they were owed. I paused the footage, stared at the frozen image of my mother holding a hammer. I didn't cry. I copied the files to a hard drive, called my lawyer, then I called the police. 30 minutes later, officers were at my door. I handed them the footage, the timeline, the access logs. They watched in silence. When it ended, one of them turned to me and said, "Do you want to press charges?" I nodded. Yes, I do. They didn't see it coming. When they got the call, they thought it was a joke, an overreaction. They thought I was still that quiet girl, the one who let them in, let them scream, let them take. But I wasn't quiet anymore. I was calculated. Trespassing, unlawful surveillance, destruction of property. They tried to say it was a misunderstanding, family business. I played them the audio, showed them the emails, pulled up the timestamps, the door logs, the GPS. The officers didn't smile. They just cuffed them. In court, my mother stared at me the entire time. I didn't blink. She tried to speak once, said my name like it still belonged to her. I didn't answer. The judge ruled in my favor. Restraining order, full removal of access, restitution for damages, court-ordered psych evals. They left in silence, the way they should have years ago. I changed the locks again, burned the journals they read, repainted the studio walls. But I kept the cameras, not out of fear, out of proof. Proof that I wasn't crazy, that silence wasn't weakness, that I saw everything and acted. People always ask me, why didn't you just confront them? Because confrontation gives closure to them. I wanted justice, clean, cold, undeniable. I didn't need to scream, I just needed to watch. And when the time came, I made sure everyone else heard it for me. Some legacies are inherited, others are burned. Mine, I buried it under evidence and walked away whole.